Ghoulings, friends. I'm Mr. Creepy, your host. Tonight's story is called Ronald the Vampire. Sarah hesitated at the door of the run-down apartment building, her hand poised to knock. Pregnant and desperate, she had been living out of her car for weeks, barely scraping by. She needed this cleaning job, no matter how ominous the building seemed. Inside, she found Alex, a survivor raised in an orphanage with haunted eyes and a secret darkness lurking beneath the surface. He offered her a room in his cramped apartment, claiming, "I can't stand to see you living, well, in your condition, in your car." Grateful but wary, Sarah accepted, unaware of the horrors that awaited her within those walls. Days turned into weeks, and Sarah settled into her new life with Alex. He was kind to her, providing food, shelter, and spending cash. But there was something unsettling about him, something she couldn't quite put her finger on. She brushed off her unease, grateful for his generosity, but curious about his secrets. Sarah meticulously tended to their apartment, ensuring it was always spotless, the laundry done, and healthy meals were prepared. Meanwhile, Alex returned home with an unusual scent of iron, stains of crimson on his work clothes, and an evident wariness. Despite Sarah's persistent inquiries about his work, Alex remained evasive, attributing his condition to odd jobs. One evening, Alex arrived home with a bleeding wound on his hand, resembling a dog bite. Unable to deceive Sarah, he confided in her, revealing his troubled past and the shadows that haunted him. Alex disclosed his role as a hunter, dedicated to safeguarding humanity from the bloodthirsty monsters he called vampires. Sarah listened intently as Alex divulged his secrets, her eyes reflecting a mixture of concern and understanding.
Vampires,
She echoed, a shiver running down her spine.
but how? Why?
Alex sighed heavily, the weight of his burden palpable. "It's a long story," he began, his voice tinged with weariness. "But suffice it to say, I've been hunting them for years. They're real, Sarah, and they're out there, preying on the innocent. Someone has to stop them." Sarah was shocked by Alex's revelation, and she needed proof, something to convince her that he wasn't lying or crazy. Alex observed her skeptic demeanor and led her into his hidden armory, where he revealed the secrets of his trade. There, amidst the ancient crosses and sophisticated weaponry, including a crossbow modified to shoot a wooden stake at high speed, lay the body of a once staked, now dead vampire, a grim reminder of the horrors that lurked in the shadows. Sarah stared at the lifeless creature before her, and goosebumps did rise on her flesh.
This is real.
She questioned, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex nodded solemnly. "I'm afraid so," he replied, his gaze fixed on the vampire's pale green, lifeless face. "And they're out there, Sarah. They walk among us." Sarah's mind raced as she absorbed the grim reality of their situation. She had never imagined that vampires could exist, let alone walk among them in plain sight. But there, in Alex's armory, the evidence lay before her in the form of ancient crosses and detailed diagrams depicting the anatomy of vampires. "Look at their fangs," Alex said, pointing to the diagram depicting the anatomy of vampires. "They're predators, designed for one thing only." Sarah shuddered, her eyes fixed on the image.
And their skin, it's green?
Alex nodded grimly. A telltale sign of their otherworldly nature. But the worst part? He paused, his gaze meeting hers. "They're afraid of crosses. It's like a symbol of our faith repels them, keeps them at bay." Sarah's breath caught in her throat.
And the coffins?
They sleep in them during the day, Alex explained. It's where they retreat to, where they regenerate their strength. That's why we have to find them while they're vulnerable. As Sarah listened, a sense of dread crept over her, but alongside it was a growling determination.
We have to stop them.
She said, her voice steady despite the fear.
Whatever it takes.
Alex's gaze softened as he reached out to steady Sarah, his voice calm but urgent. There's something else you need to know, he said, his words weighted with gravity. The vampire we're hunting, it's Ronald McDonald, the man who dresses up as the mascot at the local McDonald's. Sarah's eyes widened in shock, a surge of disbelief coursing through her veins. Ronald McDonald, the beloved icon of childhood memories and fast food commercials, was a vampire? It seemed impossible, yet Alex's solemn expression left no room for doubt. As the realization sunk in, Sarah felt scared. If Ronald McDonald was indeed a vampire, then he was responsible for the disappearances of children that had plagued their community. And now it was up to her and Alex to stop him, whatever the cost. Determined to confront the vampire lurking beneath the facade of the iconic clown, Sarah and Alex embarked on a rigorous training regimen. Alex coached Sarah in hand-to-hand combat, teaching her to defend herself against the supernatural threats they would face. Meanwhile, he meticulously crafted a special bodysuit tailored to accommodate Sarah's pregnant condition, ensuring her safety during their perilous mission. After weeks of preparation, the fateful morning arrived. Armed and suited up, Sarah and Alex ventured to the local McDonald's, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Alex deftly picked the lock on the door, and together they descended into the secret cellar of the restaurant. There, they were met with a chilling sight. Ronald McDonald, asleep in his coffin, surrounded by his helpless boys and girls strung up by their wrists from the rafters. With adrenaline coursing through their veins, Sarah and Alex leaped into action, intent on driving a stake into Ronald McDonald's heart. However, Ronald proved to be a formidable adversary, his speed and strength far surpassing that of an ordinary human being. He knocked the stake crossbow out of Alex's hand and struck him so hard that Alex was flung against the opposing wall. Sarah found herself caught in Ronald's iron grip, her throat constricted as he studied her helplessly dangling form.
After I drain your friend's lifeblood, I think I'll turn you into a double quarter pounder with cheese.
Alex re-emerged and struck Ronald across his cheek, smearing his clown makeup, revealing the sickly green hue of his undead flesh beneath. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, Sarah retrieved Alex's customized weapon, the crossbow that fired wooden stakes. With precision and determination, she aimed for Ronald McDonald's heart, firing the stake deep into the vampire's chest. With a guttural roar, Ronald McDonald fell to the ground, vanquished by the combined efforts of Sarah and Alex.
You naughty kids!
Breathing heavily, Sarah and Alex surveyed the aftermath of their battle. With Ronald McDonald defeated, they knew that their community was safe once more. They freed the children, called the police, and quickly departed, but not without taking Ronald's body with them for future examination. As they transported Ronald McDonald's lifeless body back to Alex's apartment, Sarah and Alex knew that their fight against the forces of evil was far from over. But together, they were prepared to face whatever horrors awaited them in the shadows.